Caltrans will be replaced with the Office of a State Engineer. That office will be responsible to provide expertise to counties when it is requested for infrastructure project, material acquisition, or related affairs. State infrastructure projects will be overseen by this office and will work with locally contracted people from the county in which the project is constructed. Federal highway monies will be distributed to counties for maintenance and construction of state responsibility roads and infrastructure with the local jobs that result from that. In other words, the definition of an interstate highway is a highway that is capable of supporting tanks. The federal government mandates interstate highways so that they can move divisions of troops from one coast to another in the event that we're attacked. We must have some federal highways in order to move men and material over roads that are strong enough to handle that traffic. If the federal government demands that a road be strong enough for interstate traffic, then they need to pay for that. And if they pay for it, that money will be given to the county to oversee those roads. Every county has a road department. Every county knows how to do that. If they need expertise to build a bridge that they don't possess, they call the Office of the State Engineer, and the State Engineer's office will help them if you call. If you don't call, everything's good and away you go. The state engineer will also be responsible for facilitating mining, water rights, and other areas of production vital to Jefferson's viability. That will be the Office of State Engineer. State Office of Agriculture will be responsible for facilitating and enhancing the production and marketing of Jefferson's vast agricultural and forest resources. The Office of Ag will be responsible for agriculture, fish, game, and forestry. Office of Ag will lend advice and resources to a county if requested. The Office of Ag will be the lead agency in the event of an agricultural emergency, pest infestation, things of that nature, but otherwise we'll leave you alone. It will be up to your county to decide those matters unless you ask or unless there's some kind of outbreak. Office of Education. This is a touchy one. The Office of Education is the paramount responsibility to instill a knowledge of liberty and constitutional republic into the future guardians of liberty. The State Office of Education will primarily be responsible to see that future citizens are well educated in the principles of liberty. Because as Thomas Jefferson said, we cannot remain ignorant and free. You have to pick one of those. Our schools must teach the history of the Republic and help to impart the knowledge which will ensure liberty for our posterity. The State Office of Education will also be responsible to advise and to aid counties when requested to obtain material supplies and expertise to construct and facilitate curriculum designed to either aid in entrance to a university system or provide technical education necessary for the skills and economic success of the students. So it's advisory. If your county needs help, you can ask for it. You have that resource available. If you're doing a good job on your own, just keep doing it. And nobody's going to ask you to ask for advice from the state because it'll save us money as a state when you don't ask. So, county government will largely determine the subject matter, and by county government, I'm not saying your board of supervisors. You'll have a local board of education, which I hope you get to vote for. In our county, we do. And you will have input as people who come face to face with them in the room and say, you know, I'm not really interested in socialist indoctrination. I'd rather my kid learn mathematics. And so that will set your curriculum. However, the State Office of Education will provide to you at least the benchmarks that your kids will need to accomplish to make an entrance into a university. So, you know, that's important as well. Let's see. County government will largely determine the subject matter of local schools with the input from local citizens. Universities and colleges, we're going to encourage Jefferson universities, we will encourage to use private enterprise in order to supply them with the information that their students need to succeed. In other words, if you have a university and you have a good call for computer programming, private industry is a good place to learn where computer programmers, what they need to know in order to succeed. So what we hope to do is we hope to get private industry involved in education because they have the dollars. One thing we have to be careful of is they don't unduly influence the system because money equals power. but I think we're smart enough to figure that out. Training facilitated through the Department of Justice will apply to peace officer standards.